Hi, this is Jeff from Airstream Nerds, and I've bought some more Solo Stove stuff. So if you remember, one of the only negatives that I had with our new Yukon here is because of the height and because of the, normal chairs are below the top of this, and you want to sit a little bit of distance around this thing, that there wasn't a lot of heat coming off like sideways from the top. Most of the heat was right over the top. Unless you had a big flame with a fire where the flames are coming out about this high, you didn't get a whole lot of heat coming off in the radius. So Solo Stove had a lot of complaints about that, I imagine, and they've developed the Deflector. And what this basically does is it sits right on top of here, and it takes the fire that's coming up and it deflects it out towards you, just like it says. When I get back, I'm gonna open up the box, we're gonna see what it looks like and see how it works.
Airstream song, cruising to the campsite singing our song. Airstream song, we are the Airstream Nerds. Yeah!
So we've got a gigantic flying saucer looking thing. We've got a manual here.
Like a Viking shield. Or Clark Griswold's flying saucer.
So I got a one-page manual with a QR code. I guess you can go and see other information about it, or probably an electronic manual as well. Let's see what else we got in here. There should be there's some more styrofoam in here. Couple pieces of cardboard, and that's pretty much it. Nice little drawstring nylon bag. Not very sturdy. This one's already got a little tear in it. Yeah, I think they're just using this to ship them, because I imagine once you put this together, you're not going to be taking it apart all the time. So in it are the feet that set it up, which we'll put it together here in a second. I believe, looking at the manual, that everything is snapped together. Okay, so you got these clips. You've got 3 of these stainless steel feet and 3 of these clips. So let's see what we got here. Looking at this, it has 3 slots. You can see the slot right there. This. Okay, so this is the bottom. The pointy side goes down, obviously. Fire hits this and comes out. So these things go on. So there is a little piece of metal. It goes in just like that. That's how it's going to end up. So you take, it's pretty simple actually. You take the leg here. You've got this little hole here and this little slit here. And you take this clip into this. You slide that in and then you rock it back into that side. Then when you flip it over, you have this little piece sticking out, and you have these little clips that sit on there, and you got line. That was the tricky part of the last one. Getting it. You got to push up. You got to kind of push up on the bottom so it stays up high enough so you can slide the clip in. Let me take the sticker and the tag off so it doesn't catch fire when I put it on there. So slides in, slides up, and you can see that on there's these 2 other little holes. What I'm doing is, on this side, I'm taking this clip and it's sliding like that, which is locking it into place.
Okay.
So pop it up like that, set the clip on there, and if you keep pushing that lip so it goes up, the the clip is a little easier to slide down.
Cool.
Okay, so that one went down farther than the others. Let me make sure. There we go. You probably, if you really needed to, you don't have, you know, a lot of strength in your thumbs or whatever, a little rubber mallet, just tapping it would probably be okay. That's weird. It does not sit on this lip. Or maybe it does. Oh, yeah, it does. I just don't know what I'm doing. It sits on there just fine. What was I doing? You were looking, what was I doing? So it sits on there just fine. So what you still have heat coming through the holes up here, but I can actually feel the heat from here, where before you couldn't feel anything sitting right next to it like this. Where if this is such a small fire right now, that having my hands here, I wouldn't have felt any heat at all. It would have just felt, it would have just felt like nothing. So it definitely does what it's supposed to do. It's kind of weird looking up top. I understand the need for them to minimize packaging and stuff like that, but this is still a pretty big box. I mean, if you look at the height of this thing, it's not that high that they couldn't have had this like welded or however, instead of having to assemble it and put it in just a little bit bigger box. Because
probably would have broken if it had been assembled.
It depends on how they pack it too. Oh. But you see how it looks. I mean, it looks really busy, which is okay. Now, one thing that I have, if you look at the top here, there's a hole right in the middle. And I have seen some folks have gone to the hardware store and bought a little hook and a nut and a couple of washers, and they've put a hook and a couple of nuts and washers, because then they can take, which I don't know if I have those tools here, but you know, they can take the hook and take this whole thing off, because it gets hot. You don't want to, handle it like at night when I want to let the fire go out or whatever. I set this up and set it on the concrete over here, or if I needed to open it for any reason. So they've fashioned a hook.
Use your fire gloves and pick it up and move it.
To go in the middle. I mean, I could use my gloves too, yeah, but I don't have them out here. They're in for the Ranger. So the other complaint that I have seen, which is kind of valid, is the ability to...
Seems like it's off center.
Yeah, it slides around.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it just sits
Not
there.
that. I'm talking about the bottom part. Seems like it's...
What are you talking about?
It's off center of its base.
Oh, I ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Okay.
It probably is.
Okay.
Another thing that is it's hard to put wood in here. The Yukon is a pretty big unit, and if I was to take a larger log, I can see 100% true that it would be difficult to put bigger logs in. You only have that little bit of space. What is that, like?
6
maybe
inches.
5-6 inches, yeah, maybe 7 inches at the most. I did hear that they have either started making them longer, and this is one of the first. I mean, I ordered this when it was first introduced, and I pre-ordered it basically, so I got one of the first ones to come out. So maybe they have longer legs now. I have reached out, and I will update this video if they do offer longer legs that make it sit up a little higher, that gives you more log room. But for what it is, it doesn't look bad. It still looks kind of cool. Kind of looks, what do you call this?
Futuristic, modern.
Yeah, a modern architecture look to it. It's not just like some folks have made, like with chair legs and pizza pans.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's homemade. It looks like it looks like it's manufactured nicely.
It's got caution hot on it. They could have done something and punched Solo Stove on it. I mean, they got Solo Stove punched in all their other things. The little flame logo. They could have done that somewhere on there, just to make it, look like it belongs.
Is the frog agreeing with you?
Frog's agreeing with me. All the nature's alive tonight, huh? So I got the Yukon Deflector, which will see lots of action, but at the same time, I bought the Deflector for our Ranger. Now the Ranger sits lower, it's smaller, it's just for us two. the Ranger here, the
It's for our
deflector,
Airstream.
yeah, for the Airstream, it probably will not get used. It probably will not get used. It probably won't get taken with us to camping because, well, one of the things is, as you can see, that the deflectors are bigger than the actual fire pit, so it won't fit in the. This will not fit in the drawstring bag that all the rest of the Ranger stuff fits in. So right now the Ranger's like you grab it and you go. This would be a separate. We'd have to get like a pizza pan, and then these clips that hold it on, we'd have to be disassembling and assembling a lot. So I think for a portable application, this is probably overkill. Like I said, the Ranger sits lower. We normally sit closer to it, and it heats just fine because we're above it already. This is a lot taller, a lot bigger, so it didn't get the same range when you have 4 or 5 people sitting out here. You don't get the same heat off of it. Now I'm sitting here.
Definitely feel it.
Definitely can feel the heat, can't you? You can feel it coming out. Where I 100% couldn't feel it before sitting, especially if you could feel it. You're 6 foot away from here.
Even though it's a hot day, so you would definitely normally feel it.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's cooling down a little bit.
It 100% is doing what it's supposed to do. I think it's a pretty cool product. Like I said, there could be some changes. The stupid thing is the stamping of the name in there. Legs a little taller. Maybe Solo Stove could put a hook in the middle. It is. What if I have a log that falls over? I like to play in the fire. I like to poke at it and stuff. You can't poke at it with this on there. If I could hook it, set it over, arrange my fire so it's nice and pretty, and then hook it and put it back on top.
Then burn yourself.
I'm not going to burn myself.
And then you want to talk to Solo Stove about how you burned yourself.
Hey, if they put a method, we already have hooks that pick up the hot lid.
Babe,
they already provide them.
People put
I know
coffee in their laps
but
at
it
the
does say,
drive-thru and
hey,
spill it and burn and
hey,
have
Solo
issues.
Stove has a CYA. It says caution hot on here.
Yeah.
So they've covered their butts on this. And if I touch that, they can't say we didn't tell you. But I like to play on the fire, and trust me, I'm going to have to find some fire gloves to keep out here so I can grab this and move it so I can play in the daggone fire, because that's just what I do. I like to poke and prod and rearrange and put.
I'm just like a little chimp using a stick to.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to burn houses down and set woods on fire, but I can have my own little pyro experiment in this Solo Stove, and that's what I like. So again, I love the product. You can make your homemade stuff. There's tons of crap online of people that have done it successfully, and love what they've done. This is made by Solo Stove, put out by Solo Stove. I support the brand. I think it's a great product, so I bought it. Once again, this is Jeff.
And Jenny.
And we're the Airstream Nerds. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, put any comments below, and we'll see you on the next trip.